All right, so let's do this. Hello and welcome everyone, and also hello to everyone who have been here for the first time today and have not been a part of our other three workshops. Now, your host here is Ketan Mishra, that's me, and I'm back with you. And with me is my co-host Bishop Pandey for another exciting and insightful workshop. Today, we will be sharing insights on the effective management of your Etsy orders to Shopify via Etsy Marketplace integration app. So, without any further delay, let's get started here. But before jumping into the real juice, I'd like to brief you on everything that we have lined up for this particular workshop today. So we'll be taking you and talking about the major role of the third-party applications when it comes to order management, what exactly order management is, and what orders are fetched by our app, that's Etsy Marketplace integration, and the order management flow itself. So to begin with, let us see what is the major role of third-party apps and what roles they play for the order management. So basically, the third-party apps are here to help you create your orders on the single platform. Their usage becomes important because you won't have to juggle between two platforms for managing your orders, and your inventory management will become less complicated. And obviously, your manual inputs will reduce it. What's your take, Rishabh? How are you? And what do you think about this?
Well, yes, this will definitely gonna help you in reducing all the manual works. So perfect.
All right. So moving ahead, then we come to since we are talking about the order management, it's time that I draw attention of our listeners to the next aspect that focuses upon what exactly order management is and what do we mean by that. So as it's written here, it is about order fetch over to Shopify store via the application when an order gets placed on Etsy. So by the simple definition, orders fetched over your Shopify store by the application when an order gets placed on Etsy. So this is giving you some central management for all the orders like that. Now moving ahead, um, order management has its requisites too when it comes to Etsy Marketplace integration app. So the orders will be fetched only when they are prepaid there and are fulfilled remains. Otherwise, they won't reflect on your Shopify store in cases where it is not paid or you have fulfilled them directly by the Etsy. So in this very way, such orders will not reflect on your Shopify. Now a detailed elaboration on how these orders get created will now be represented to you by my co-host Bishop. So over to you.
Yes, very well. So here you can see the flow chart on your screens. The process is actually quite easy to understand. The flow is like this. The order is placed in your Etsy store. The very same order will be fetched by the application and will be stored in the order section of the app. Next, that order will be sent to Shopify. Now, here one thing that is necessary is that you must have the ordered product inside your application because the order will be created in your Shopify if and only if the product is present inside the app. Well, after that, the order can be seen in your Shopify store in the order section with a tag via Etsy Marketplace integration to make you specify which order is exactly from the application and which orders are through the Shopify itself. Now, the next in this flow is the part where your tracking details are updated in your order. Here, if you have added any order fulfillment services to your Shopify, so that order will be sent to them, and the tracking details be provided by them in that order. And when the tracking details are there, the same tracking details in the order will be synced inside the app, and then from application to Etsy, and here the order will be marked as completed. So this is the basic flow of the order management that you can see here in the diagram as well on your screens. So in simple language, it is like order placed on Etsy. The order is sent from Etsy to the app to Shopify. The tracking details are updated on your Shopify store for that specific order from Shopify to Etsy, and the order is marked as fulfilled. So this is the complete flow of the order management here. So with this, I guess we can move ahead by sharing my screen. Right, Ketan?
Definitely we can, but we have a few questions coming in the chat section, and also listeners. Um,
Okay.
don't forget to ask your questions, your queries into the chat section here. You can write it down into Q&A section, and we have the experts sitting right there to answer the questions for you the best way we can here. So I have one question here which says, are we taking any commission on the orders you get?
No, no. We don't take any commission, any kind of commission on your orders. You only have to pay for the subscription, and that's it. No commission on your orders, no additional charges.
This definitely looks like a nice relief there. And moving ahead, another one says, if a buyer has left a note for me in the Etsy order, where can I see that on Etsy?
Okay. So, well, check that in the Shopify notes section. If the buyer's message will be there, the buyer's message will be sent to their Shopify store when synced by the app. So you can go through the buyer's note or message section there. So you can find the buyer's message there.
That's crystal clear. Here, go here. Then you can. Now, thank you, Rishabh, for this very brief explanation about these very questions. Now we can definitely go ahead for the demonstration section, which definitely helps us clear many doubts that we had in our head. So once again, just reminding, if you have any questions, drop into the question answer section, and you'll have it there. Rishabh, over to you. I'm allowing you to share the screen right now.
Okay, sure. Let me share the screen here. Okay, so it's visible, right?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So you can see the order section over here. Under the orders, you can see the subheadings here. Order details. This section which will show you the data for all your orders that is currently opened on your screens. Next is the carrier mapping, where you can map your Shopify carriers with the Etsy ones. Map shipping methods, where you can map the Etsy shipping methods with the Shopify's. And last is the mapped orders, a section that shows you the orders that have been mapped, that you have mapped inside the application. So now let's start with the things present in the order details here. So there are tabs here, all, paid, failed, completed, others. So you can check them out specifically which order lies in which state. So you can see all the orders here. The section will show you the Etsy receipt ID, which has been received from Etsy, as well as the Shopify order name as well, the order that you have created on your Shopify. So here you can see the order IDs for both, and you can filter the products orders as well by using this search box. So now let's have a quick look here what bulk actions you can perform on the orders. The first option we have, for this we need to select the orders here. The first option we have is the export orders. Now, running this action will export a CSV file for your orders so that you can keep a record for the same. As soon as you proceed with this using the submit button, a CSV file will be downloaded with all the order data that you have selected in there. So if you have selected these orders, all the data for these orders will be downloaded in a CSV file so that you can keep a record for the same. Next we have is the sync status. Now, let's suppose due to some reasons, the updated status is not synced inside the application for your orders. Or let's say you have completed a failed order and you want to sync the status for the same. So you can select the order here and run this action. This will update the status for the order inside the application. So simply select from the drop down and proceed with the submit button. This will update the status for the order if it hasn't been updated inside the application yet. And the last one is the create order on Shopify that you can see here. This action will be performed for a failed order. When you have fixed the error for the failed order, you can create that order in your Shopify using this action. Let's say, for example, if this order is currently in failed and you have fixed the error in this, you can select this order and proceed with this action. This will create the order on your Shopify. Now, also there are some buttons over the top if you can see. Let me brief you about these as well. The first one is the sync shipped orders. Now, you can use this button to update the shipment details in the orders on Etsy. Let's say if you have updated the tracking details in your orders, but due to some reasons it has not been yet sent on Etsy. So you can simply use this button to update the shipment for all the orders. So let's say, to be on the safer side, you can use this button manually to ship the tracking detail, update the tracking details for all your orders in bulk on Etsy. Next we have is the fetch order, fetch single order. As I mentioned, these processes are automated, but in case if the order is not able to be pulled inside the application, you can use these buttons manually at the state of urgency. So using this button, you can fetch and create a single order from Etsy. You can provide the order Etsy order receipt ID, and that hasn't been fetched inside the app. So just click on this. It will ask you to provide the receipt ID. Now, one thing here I want to mention is this, as Ketan has already mentioned here, the order must be paid and you must have not fulfilled that order directly on Etsy. If the order is not paid, or if you have fulfilled that order directly on Etsy, the order will not be fetched here. So make sure you do that. So here you just need to provide the receipt ID and proceed with the confirm button. This will create the order that you are trying to pull inside the application. So next is the fetch order. Uh, like the single order fetch, this action will pull all the open orders inside the application if they haven't been pulled inside the app yet. So lastly, you can see the monthly limit here. Just to mention, the order limit refreshes itself on the first of every month. So yeah, the order limit will be refreshed on every month. So that would be all the major actions in the order details that you can perform. So next we have in the orders is the carrier mapping. Okay, so now here in this section, you can map the Shopify carriers you are using with the known Etsy carriers. By default, if you haven't mapped, we send this information as others. So, but if you want to show a specific carrier over there, you can map your Shopify carrier with the Etsy one. Well, to do so, you just simply need to click on the Shopify to Etsy carrier mapping button, and this pop-up will appear to you. Now, place your Shopify carrier that you are using and that you want to map with the relevant Etsy carrier. So let's say, for example, if I'm having the Shopify carrier XYZ, and I need to map with this India post. So I have placed the Shopify carrier that I'm using inside my Shopify store, and I have mapped it with the India post, which is a known which is a known carrier on Etsy. So simply proceed with the map carrier service button here. So that's done. So if you have more to map, you can add multiple here using using the very same button. So whenever you have provided provided this XYZ carrier, it will automatically be shown as India post in the order details. So we have recently introduced these new features based on the custom user requirements. So if you need something like this, you can definitely use this option here inside the application. So moving ahead, map shipping methods. Quite similar to the carrier mapping, we have another option here, map shipping methods, from where you can map the Etsy shipping methods with the Shopify shipping methods you're using. So, and as previously, you can click this button here. You can see, proceed with this, use the carrier, use the shipping method that provided on Etsy and map it with the relevant Shopify shipping method that you are using. So that's done. This section is also based on the custom requirements of the user, as I mentioned for the former. So if you need any of this, you can use these sections to implement so that these things will be implemented to your orders. So the last option here is the mapped orders. If you have received a failed order due to a SKU not available error message, you can manually map the order here in the very same section for order details. So once you have mapped that order, you can see those details will be shown here, like I have mapped this one. So that's it with the available options in the order management. So moving ahead, also, we have one more feature inside the application, which is very good for you. And we also have implemented this feature based on the custom requirement of the users. And that is that you can ship the orders without the tracking information as well. Sometimes there can be a possibility that you want to ship the orders, but you don't need to provide the tracking details inside that order. So in that case, you can use this feature, and this feature can be very helpful to you in that. For this, we have a setting that you can enable. Let me show you this specific setting about that order. Visit the settings section here. Now move the order management. Now check this very first setting inside the page. Ship order on Etsy without tracking number. If you want to ship your orders without a tracking number, you can enable this option. In case, if in that case, the order will be marked as fulfilled on Etsy, even if this information is not given inside your order. So based on your requirements, you can enable or disable this option accordingly. Now we will have a specific workshop for the complete setting section in which we will be covering the Etsy settings, product management, as well as order management. So that part would be covering in the next workshop. So Ketan, that would be it from my side. That is the all things that we can provide that you can do inside the order section.
All right, so thank you so very much for this very brief demonstration. Let me actually have my screen here so that we can see. Just a moment before we start, and here we are. I hope I'm clear and visible. This should be clear, right?
Yes, it's visible.
All right, all right. Hello, so once again, thank you so very much, Rishabh, to you for sharing the demonstration there and letting us know how things actually work in the background. I feel like a very happy for people who have joined here because they've been so, I'll say, hardworking, and they've spent time learning stuff, how to run their businesses, all of it. So it's pretty nice to have you people here. Now, I hope your explanation has resolved all the doubts among our viewers, but still, questions are always welcome, listeners. Keep dropping your concerns and we will answer them as we can. Like the next one that we have in the queue. The question goes as Rishabh. It says, how will the app manage order refunds?
Okay. Well, refunds for the Etsy order can only be processed on Etsy. So doing the refund on Shopify won't work in this case. You need to refund the amount directly on Etsy for the Etsy order. No amount will be refunded through Shopify for the Etsy orders. So as there is currently no API for the same.
So is this a happy news or a sad news?
Well, you can say that we can wait for the API if Etsy
I
provides
guess
this, so we can.
it's a hopeful news. I see
Yeah, yeah.
that we're like bringing in the upcoming sessions there. So now, with this very hopeful note, I would like to tell you guys that this brings us to the end of our workshop on effective management of your Etsy orders to Shopify via Etsy Marketplace integration app. And we really wish that this workshop has helped to clear all of your queries that could come up while selling on Etsy and managing your Shopify store. And once again, drop us any query if you haven't yet by now, and we'll take it up and resolve it for you, and you'll get it all in the mail right after this workshop, like expected in 12 hours or so. So we're gonna be right there. Now, also, I don't forget to mention it because I run this podcast. So do not forget to check out this podcast. That's everything Etsy there. It goes as sell around the globe, and you'll be getting a copy of this presentation in your mail, so you'll be able to fetch all the platforms where the podcast is, right, by clicking on the links there. It's available on Google Podcast, Apple, Anchor, Spotify, you name it. Whatever podcast you listen to, you get. You'll be having sell around the globe Etsy by CedCommerce there. Now, you can subscribe to it to stay updated with all that's happening in the Etsy marketplace world. Also, in this presentation, I'm attaching the official documentation by the development team of Etsy Marketplace Integration app, which would further help you clear any doubts. It contains some screenshots and a few text that would help you navigate how to run the app when it comes to order management over Etsy Marketplace Integration app. So once again, you'll be having a copy of this presentation in your mail, so you can unfold all the troubles right there, unfold all the basically troubles solving right there. Now moving ahead, this is our past three workshops in case you have missed that, so you can access them there. And lastly would be a very nice and thankful thank you, which brings us to the end of this workshop. Now, with this, Rishabh, we'll now be bidding adieu here, and until we see them again with the charged up workshop very soon. So, till then, we have to hold our horses and checking out spaces for more information. With this note, this is me signing off, Ketan Mishra, and this is Rishabh. Rishabh, thank you so very much.